I thought that was one of the finest comebacks that we've had in my career, because of playing against a quality opponent like Clemson, who makes it very, very difficult on you to guard them inside and outside. They're a fantastic three-point shooting team. They're coming into the game. They were 10th in the country at halftime. They already were shooting 50% from three. They've got like an unstoppable force inside in PJ Hall, who's a very hard matchup for us. I thought Sam Wardenberg did a very good job, but he got in foul trouble. And then Jordan Miller probably did as good a job as you can do on PJ, trying to keep the ball out of his hands. He stole a couple of entry passes. But that was a great comeback, and really enjoyed it. My hat's off to our players, because when we fell behind by 9, I believe, we didn't hang our heads. We stayed patient. We worked really hard defensively and got some stops. And then we were able to score the ball at the offensive end pretty efficiently.
All right, we'll go into questions now. If you have a question for Coach L, please use the hand raise function and wait to be called on. We'll start with Cal Friedman from WVUM. Cal?
Thank you, Alex. Coach, congratulations on the win. I wanted to ask about Jordan Miller's performance, effectively efficient on both the defensive and offensive sides of the ball. Was that the kind of play you were expecting when you got him from George Mason?
Yeah, actually, he played like we thought he would right from the very beginning. He hit some threes. He got some rebounds. He played great defense. He moved the ball. He's very good at cutting to the basket and get layups. And I think the guys really love playing with him. I think that's very important. And as he continues to build his confidence in our program, I think you're going to see a lot more of that.
We'll go now to Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Michelle?
Sorry about that music delay. I have 2 questions. I'm sorry, Alex, if you don't mind. But one is, can you please talk about Sam? He had a career high tonight and just was so active around the basket, and to have 18 points. And then my second question is, because it's Clemson, I have to ask you, there have been talks with their athletic director. I'm sure that you're familiar with him, Dan Radakovich. If UM were to hire him, what would you think of him? What do you know about him?
Okay. The first question was about Jordan. I know about Sam.
Sam.
Sam had a fantastic game. He's been playing fantastic. And if you notice, we've been putting the ball in his hands a lot more. Putting the ball in his hands at the top of the key. He can make that three-pointer. That stretches the defense, makes their 5-man come out. Our guards can use him as a ball screener and create opportunities for themselves. Sam can score it. He got some assists. But, you know, one of the big keys, he's a very active defender. He guards ball screens very well. He can guard big guys. He can switch on to smaller guys. He's a key component to our strategy and has been since the season began. As far as the athletic director's position, I'm not privy to any information from anybody in the know. But what I will tell you is everybody that I've spoken to that knows Dan raves about him, beginning with Paul Damari, who, when I first got here, was raving about Dan and the job he was doing at Georgia Tech. And then he repeated it with the job he did at Clemson. I talked to Craig Littlepage, who's an athletic director at Virginia, knows Dan very well. He raved about him. Joe Zagacki, our radio guy, told me that he's known Dan since like 1982, and he raved about him. And then I asked Brownell, I said, hey, if this would have happened, what do you think? And he raved about Dan. So he's a heck of a businessman. He's got tremendous experience. And I look forward to finding out if it's Dan or whoever the next leader of our athletic department is.
Thank you.
We'll go now to Matt Shodell from Kane Sport.
Oh, hey, Jim. I was going to ask about Sam, but I'll switch gears since we were just asked about him. So I guess one of the big stories of the game was, I guess, Clemson had the 13 offensive rebounds. You guys had 4. They had 18 second chance points and a 39-21 rebounding advantage. So, like, you know, those aren't numbers you want as a coach. Like, as you play some of these bigger teams with these, inside presences, which I think most of these ACC teams have, like, what's the plan? I mean, is it just going to be Sam and cross your fingers doesn't get 5 fouls? Like, how do you sort of address that?
Do I have to answer that question?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Matt, all the things you're talking about, we talked about all summer long. And really, my answer is we need Rodney Miller and Deng Gak to step up and be able to give us another big that can defend and rebound and handle the ball on the perimeter like Sam does. They don't have to make threes, but they've got to be able to give us a target and set ball screens and help our guards get open. And they're very capable of doing that. In fact, I thought both of those guys would have good games. The other is we can go a little smaller with an Anthony Walker. But as it turned out today, we moved Jordan Miller over to play PJ Hall because he was much more active in trying to keep the ball out of PJ's hands. Anthony and Dang and Rodney played behind him, and he's so skillful. All he does is make the shot.
We got time for 2 more questions for Coach L. We'll go to Michael Yero from 305 Sports and then Wyatt Kopelman from BUM. Michael, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Last game against Penn State, you talked about Isaiah Wong being sick. Do you have an update on that? And what do you think about his performance today?
Yeah, he had a sinus infection that's being treated. He's got asthma that's being treated. I'd say based on what I saw in practice yesterday, he was fantastic. Based on what I saw today, you got to give Clemson, a lot of credit for kind of slowing him down. But you saw at the end of the game, those last 5-6 minutes, he was burying jump shots and burying free throws and getting steals. So, Isaiah is one heck of a basketball player, and he's just going to get better and better.
Last question for Coach L comes from Wyatt Kopelman.
Yeah, Coach, congratulations on the win. You mentioned it being one of the more finer comebacks in your time here at Miami. You guys had 4 guys in double digits again today in the scoring column. Could you just talk about what you told your guys in the timeouts in the second half to keep them battling and keep them leading this team toward victory?
Yeah, my message was very, very simple. Fight. Just keep fighting for every loose ball, for every rebound, fight to get over every screen. Just keep fighting and competing and playing really hard, and things will turn in our favor. And that's what the guys did.